I'm Mr. Satish Thalange, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Walchand Technology, Solapur. In today's session, we are going to see the network techniques for the project management. At the end of the session, the students is going to able to draw the network diagram for the project and compare it with the Gantt chart tech for the project management. Now let's see the network and its terms. The network is nothing else, it is a graphical and the logical presentation of the particular projects and its activities with their interdependency. Here in this network diagram, the particular order of the task or you can say activities are shown in such a way that the preceder and the successor activities are also there. The network is such a good presentation as compared to the earlier, that is the Gantt chart, which we later going to see. Now in this particular network diagram, we have to see the terms which are involved. First one is the activity. The activities is a portion or you can say the part in the network diagram which is going to consume the time as well as the resource for its completion. The activities are represented by the arrows. Here we see the arrows above which there is a description and below there is a duration. In this particular diagram, the description means it may be a name of the particular activity or task. The length of particular arrow have no any significance. Now the events are the parts in the network diagram which are the presented at the start and the end of the particular activity. The event doesn't consume any resource as well as the time. Here we observe that the particular event is represented by the circular node. Here 1 and 2 are the particular circular nodes which are the events of the particular activity. Here as the node which is at the end of the particular or you can say the tail of the particular activity, that's why it is known as a tail event, and the 2 is the event which is at the head of the particular arrow, so it is as a head event. Here in this particular network diagram, the 1 is a particularly starting event from which all the activities are going to start, that is A, B and C. As all the activities are starting means from the event 1 there are all outgoing arrows, so it is known as a bursting event, and this event is also known as a tail event. Here event 2, 3 and 4 are the particularly activities you can say events which are playing the dual role, that is it is playing a role of the tail event as well as the head event, because 2, 3 and 4 are the head event of activity A, B and C, but they are, at the same time this particular events are the tail of the activity D, E and F. Here event 5 where all the arrows are merging toward the 5, so these events are incoming towards the 5, so there are this particular event 5 is known as a merging event. Now the interdependency of activities. There are series activities and the parallel activities. Here in this particular network diagram, A, B and C are the particular series activities. This means what? B is going to start only the completion of activity A. C is going to start only the completion after the completion of activity B. These are in the series. And the parallel activities, the activities which are going to start simultaneously or which are parallel to each other. In this particular network, C and B are the parallel activity because they are going to start at the same time and they have they are carrying simultaneously, that's why C and B are the parallel activities, and D and E also. Now interdependency of events. The events, here there is a successor event and the preceder event. In this particular network diagram, 2 is the successor event of 1, 3 is the successor event of 2 and 4 is the successor event of 3. Similarly, here when we see the second network diagram, 1 is the preceder of 2, 2 is the preceder of 3 and 4, as 3 and 4 are the preceder of activity 5. Event 5. Now dummy activity. The dummy activity and its purpose. Dummy activity is activity which won't consume any time as well as resource. They are only presented in the particular network diagram for the logical maintenance. Here the grammatical purpose and the logical purpose are the two main purpose for using of dummy activity in the network diagram. Here The grammatical purpose means what? No activity, if two activities, if their starting event is same but their ending event should be different. For so purpose, here B and C are started simultaneously, and for to maintain its grammatical purpose, we are placing the dummy activity as shown here. And the logical purpose, in this particular slide, we observe that A, B, C, and D and E are the activities. Here, D and E are going to start only when activity A, B, and C are going to start. Okay, but when we see the individually, D is going to start when A and B is going to complete. But when we see about C, E, here E is going to start only when B and C is going to complete. But keep in mind, in the network diagram, no a single activity is presented only once in the particular network diagram. It is not presented twice. So to maintain that, logically, this is a network diagram. Here we have placed two dummy activities and the particular logicality is maintained. Now the types of network. The types of networks, there are two types of network, activity on arrow and activity on node. Here in this particular network type, this is first, it is activity on arrow, means what? The activities are represented above the arrow, or you can say also that activities are represented by the arrow, and the 1, 2, 3 are the events. Similarly, activity on node. In the second diagram, we are observing that the nodes are representing the activities. Yes, A, B, and C are the particular activity which are represented by the nodes. That's why it is known as activity on node, and events are represented by the arrows. Okay, these are the two types of particular network techniques diagram. Here, this is a question. Construct a Gantt chart and the network diagram for the project consisting of following activities. And later on, we will compare with the Gantt chart, constructed Gantt chart, and with the network technique. This is a description. Let's see in the next slide. We will see this is a Gantt chart which is constructed with the description. Activity A and activity B are the parallel activity which are going to start. As it is a parallel activity, they are going to start simultaneously. Their durations are represented. Okay, the activity A is going to complete at 3 and activity B is going to complete at 4. Activity C is a successor of the activity A. Now this is a construction of the Gantt chart in which we are presenting the activity C and activity D. Here when we see the description, activity D is a successor of activity B and cannot start until the activity A is complete. We have to maintain this interdependency of the particular activity D with respect to B and A. So this is a Gantt chart construction. Now this is a network diagram of the particular activities. Here the activity A, B, C and D are presented by the arrows, and their starting and finishing are represented by the events. Here when we observe the description and the network diagram, here we have shown the particularly activities with the arrows. Activity A and activity B are the parallel activities. Here activity A and B are the parallel one. Okay, and here activity C is the successor of activity A. Here after the completion of activity A, C is going to start. So I have constructed the network diagram in such a fashion. And activity D is a successor of activity B. Yes, it is successor of B. D is the successor of B, but it will start only when A is completed. So to maintain this, I have used dummy activity. Okay, actually this particular activity won't consume any resource or time, but to maintain the logicality, we have to construct the dummy activity between event 2 and 3. Now when we see the comparison between or difference between Gantt chart and the particular network diagram, here in this particular network diagram and the bar chart, here particularly bar chart won't show any interdependency, which is a major drawback of the bar chart, but the network diagram show the interdependency clearly. This particular Gantt chart can be read by easily, but here we won't a reader will not come to know whether which activities totally purely depend upon the previous activities. But when the network diagram is seen, here we can see clearly that D is the activity which is present on activity B as well as A. This is a easy means a difference between the bar chart and the network diagram. Here we won't show the any dummy activities or activities which are logically should be maintained to presentation is not shown in the bar chart, but here in the network diagram we show the dummy activity which is needed for the logical maintenance. This is a major difference between the Gantt chart and the network diagram. Here suppose the network diagrams can be read easily and understand, because here the interdependency is shown clearly, but in the bar chart it is a major drawback. Now these are the references for the today's session. Thank you.